I've shared this story on the show before, but when we talked last segment about you've got to define what you're trying to achieve. You've got to begin with the end in mind. Use however terminology you want to use to define that. I think about my GPS story. I always seem to think about the GPS story because it quite frankly traumatized me. You know, many of you know that I get the great opportunity and great privilege to be the pregame show host for the Razorback Sports Network during football Saturdays. And I get to travel to all of the SEC venues. And back in Brett Bielema's first year, so this story is rather old nowadays. Way back in 2013, we went to Gainesville, Florida. And as everyone else does, I use the GPS to just plug in the addresses that I'm going to, and it gets me there most of the time. Everybody depends on that in life now. I land at the Gainesville airport. I plug in the hotel that I'm staying at. It takes me right there. The next day at the football game, I plug in the name of the stadium. It takes me right there. Takes me back to the hotel after the game. Next morning, I'm flying out of Gainesville, and I put in the Gainesville airport, and it creates the route, and off I go. Now,
is this a past performance is not indicative of future results deal?
Very good. Yes, that is exactly what happened. So it was pre-dawn. Let me set the scene. So it's still dark. I've got a very early flight. Now, keep in mind, it brought me from the airport to the hotel with no problems.
Right.
Now I'm going back to the airport, and I did notice I was going different route. Okay, but hey, I thought traffic might have something to do with that. So I followed it to the T, left and right, left and right, left and right. Guess where I wound up? As I turned left into a neighborhood, I started to get the idea that maybe the GPS was incorrect. But I kept following it because it's the GPS, and I have nothing else. Let's be honest. So I go right and left, and I end up at a cul-de-sac, and it says arrived at the Gainesville airport.
Nice.
Still dark, 4 houses. What do you do?
No planes in sight.
No planes in sight.
You weren't just on the other side of the airport and you wandered into the wrong neighborhood or anything like that.
Well, I wasn't very far, but I couldn't see it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I backed back out of the cul-de-sac, went to a convenience store, asked directions like you used to do.
Yes.
And I got there, and I barely made my flight, by the way. I mean, I walked in, and they're literally boarding, so I just got on the plane. But the point of the story, for me, and the application there is I began carrying an atlas everywhere I went because I was not going to be in that situation again.
Well,
think about the GPS. Now, just think about what you're doing when you're following that. You can be lost without being lost.
Oh, sure.
Because you don't know it. You don't know what's going on. You're turning left and right and following directions, but have no concept of where you really are. When you carry that atlas, you unfold it, you see where you are. You can see the whole state of Florida. Now, maybe I couldn't find the Gainesville airport, but I know where I am in relation to other things.
So financially, think about how many people they're just turning left and right, if you will. They're doing their daily activities of working towards retirement. Contributing to the 401k is a great example on this. They think, I'm handling my retirement. I'm contributing to my 401k. I've taken care of that. And then they arrive to the cul-de-sac that should be the airport and go, I'm not ready for retirement. But they've checked the box on, hey, I was doing what I was supposed to do. It told me to turn left. I turned left. I contributed to my 401k. What did I miss? They never had anybody sit down with a detailed atlas and go, okay, if you're going to reach this destination for you, here's what you need to do to create this path for yourself.